cave classroom analyzing a document, and I guess we can start up at the top because we can start with historical context and sourcing. So this is from the New York Labor Bureau Incorporated. It's installment buying, facts for works, the Labor Bureau economic newsletter, and it's April 1926.
Okay, so 1926, roaring 20s. Economy is booming after World War One. And I would guess this is to inform. Coming a economic news bureau about facts for workers, probably wanting them to inform them about what installment buying is, benefits, dangers of it, potentially.
So it can be informed, and then it can be also to warn.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about the dangers of it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's check this out. We'll go through this paragraph by paragraph, and we'll kind of break it down. So, a writer in the American Mercury reports the case of a mechanic in Texas who received, when work was available, $6 a day. Sundry, several high-powered salesmen had sold him a second-hand automobile for which he had contracted to pay $30 a month, a set of plush and fumed oak parlor furniture for an equal monthly sum, a piano, a gold watch, a baby carriage, and a diamond ring. The sum total of his monthly installments came to more than his total monthly wages, provided he worked every day, which he didn't. Ooh.
Yeah.
It seems like he's spending a lot of money on luxury items, things he doesn't necessarily need.
Things you don't necessarily need. I mean, yeah, I'd love a gold watch.
Sure.
I'd love a piano if I knew how to play one.
Right.
But obviously, the automobile could be a necessity.
Sure.
But other things are not. And what's sticking out to me though is that his monthly income is less than what his spending is.
And then the other thing is too is that he's receiving $6 a day, and then they mention when that work's available. So this is not a stable income that he has from day to day, week to week, month to month. So you don't know.
So he's in debt.
At
the end of the month, his bills are piling up. He's not making enough money to pay off all of his debt.
A lot of dangers, like for example, when you're eligible to get a credit card when you're in your 20s, and then you
so easy.
You kind of get trapped. You go, hey, I need this, and then all of a sudden you have a lot of items that you don't necessarily need. All right, let's see. All right, we as Americans are so loaded up with monthly payments on the installment plan that we have to cut down on pork chops and warm underwear. Already, manufacturers of essentials like the Pacific Mills and the Endicott Johnson Corporation are finding that installment buying is cutting into their business. Thus, the whole national manufacturing program is liable to be made top-heavy with non-essentials, while the lower income groups find themselves actually suffering because they cannot buy the necessities which the family needs. In this vicious circle, there is the possibility of a very ugly day of reckoning.
You know what comes to mind?
What?
Sharecropping.
Yes. Yeah.
The
whole idea of having to buy all these things on credit.
You're buying things on credit, and no matter what you did at the end of the year, the landowner was going to make sure that you remained in debt. So I'm getting the sense that these workers, no matter what they're doing, they're in debt at the end of the month. Now this is through their own doing,
right?
Where sharecropping was,
they didn't really have much of a choice,
or they didn't know any better,
right?
Because they're just coming out of slavery, they're not well educated, and they simply signed the contract.
Yeah, they never favored them.
Now instead of buying the things that we need, clothes, textiles or fabrics, shoes, food, you're spending on the things you don't necessarily need, like pianos, gold watches, baby carriages, and diamond rings. Why? Because it's so easy to do.
Yep.
You hand some today, it's handing them your credit card. Then it was a little bit more, signing a paperwork, but it's buy now, but pay for it later.
And it's a trap too.
Yep.
It's a trap, and that was a lot to do with the, consumerism in the 1920s. Everybody felt that they needed these things. Yep. The bling, I guess you could say, the glitz or whatever. All right, let's see what happens here. If installment buying of non-essentials continues to grow as it has been growing, it is difficult to predict anything but disaster. Either the movement must be checked, and that very soon, or else ways and means must be discovered for increasing the purchasing power of the workers. If real wages can be made to go up fast enough, they can absorb the installment burden, which leaves it pretty squarely up to the manufacturing and banking interest. If they want to sell their luxury goods and keep the country prosperous at the same time, they must increase real wages. All right, so again, he gets into all the dangers of it.
I mean, this is perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, this paragraph is really setting the stage for
The Depression.
3 years from now,
Yeah.
the Great Depression.
Yep.
Wages did not keep up with pricing.
Right.
Everyone is buying things on installment. Our banking system was so fragile because banks are loaning out money to anybody and everyone who wanted a loan because they're going to pay back that loan with interest. Why? Because the economy is booming and the end wasn't in sight. This is perfect.
And then of course, since stocks, you're buying on margin, which is like installment buying sister pretty much at this point. I mean, and for this article to come out in 1926, this whoever wrote this article,
Prophetic.
I mean,
It really
really
is.
This is not only a reliable source, but this is one that predicts the future as far as I'm concerned after this. But
It's almost like he had a time machine and a DeLorean and got it up to 88.
I wonder
It's a
if
Back to the Future
oh
reference.
gosh, yeah. I wonder if this guy had stocks and if he did, if he got out at the right time.
No,
or
my guess, and we should do some more research into
Yeah.
this. My guess is that whoever wrote this article didn't have his money tied up in the stock markets. Probably didn't carry much personal debt, and he was probably one of the people who were safe when the Depression hit.
I wonder at what point they may have pulled their money out of the bank.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Like not this guy, whoever they're writing about, not safe.
No, not
but
him,
Whoever
the
wrote
author,
the
the
author,
author,
whoever
yes,
wrote this
yes.
particular article, probably safe when the Depression hits. in
The
October
mechanic
21.
probably had no money in the bank.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but the people who wrote this, you wonder at what point did they get out of the bank? At what point did they sell their stocks?
Yeah.
All right, great. Anything else from you on this?
No.
All right, cool. Thanks for watching.
The end is near.